Dear monks or nuns and all participants, for the meditation, we have the same direction, we have the same conduct, same practice, same. That is the liberation, the enlightenment. That is to be able to control our own destiny. We have a mind to pay attention to the Buddha. We have a mind strong enough to believe in our own mind. We don't let the ignorance and the self-attachment or any fame, profit, power, the 5 desires, etc., that they distract us, that they mislead our mind to the attachment, the ignorance and self-attachment. The Patriarch said, if we have sufficient belief in our own mind, and we have the practice sufficient enough, then it will lead us to the state of enlightenment, complete enlightenment. Just like Master Baksun Master said, if we leave the scale of 10, if we fully believe in it, then our enlightenment will get fully enlightenment. But it's not easy because of our attachment and our differentiation thoughts in our mind, and also the habit of ignorance. So it's hard for us to believe in our own mind totally. If a person who cherishes the Buddha Dharma, who believes in the Dharma completely, then that individual will be very successful in the practice. So the practitioner, as a practitioner, we need to really rely on to the Triple Gem. Everyone say that they have that mindset, but actually they have their own thinking, and they create all kind of ways, of methods, and then this is more likely that they turn around, not rely on the Buddha, not rely on the Triple Jewel, but they actually go in the upper direction, not the Buddha, but the living beings. So the patriarchs of the Buddha, they really try to tell us to keep the practice going. The practice should be consistent, constant, so that we don't have any gap. And if there's any gap in the practice, then the ignorance and the habits will come in. But we need to understand the intention of the good known advisors. Don't try to pursue the knowledge and view. Don't try to go after the explanation or the written text. And if we do this, this is like we attach to the explanation, but not really understanding the intention of the teachers, of the good known advisor. So just like the dog chasing the bone, not like a lion try to grab a person who threw out the bone. So this has to do with the ignorance, the habits of ignorance. So it keeps making us to make mistakes. So that's why we need to rely on the good no advisor, and we need to reflect on ourselves. We need to keep the practice going, and we have to have a single-minded. We have to have one mind, one conduct on the practice. So our practice, because of. So if we focus on the practice strongly enough, then the profit or the fame or wealth will not distract us. So all good no advisors, when this good no advisor try to spend money for to propagate the Dharma, and we give rise to a thought of saying, why we spend this money like this way? And the good no advisor say, if we spend on the Dharma, to propagate the Dharma, then we don't need to be stingy on spending so that we can propagate the Dharma. So the person, the good no advisors, when they try to practice the Dharma, they keep the practice going. So even if they go hungry, and they keep the practice instead of climb on condition that is not according to the Dharma. So Buddha has mentioned, taught us as a practitioner, as a cultivators, when we see people killing or selling the Buddha's images, or any living beings about to get killed, we as a cultivator, if we cannot rescue all these living beings, we have to give rise to a thought, saying in our mind, saying that you are living beings, you need to bring forth the body mind to practice. So everything we think, everything we act, it has to accord with the Buddha Dharma. So for the Buddha Dharma, when we study the Buddha Dharma or when we practice the Buddha Dharma, there's two directions. One direction that we probably go after the fame and profit and power. The other direction, we only pay attention to liberation. An example like the family of Bang they're very wealthy. But when they practice and they get to the state, and they threw all their wealth in the river, in the water. So then people ask them why don't they use this wealth, to help the poor, help the triple Jews, and they just said, this thing, they already harm them for so many lives. Why they say, why do we have to make others keep this to harm other people? Do this to harm other people. So a person who acts not according to the Buddha Dharma, go against the Buddha Dharma, the offense they created is not little, it's not small, it's huge. So we need to keep the doubt in our mind, and we need to take it seriously and believe in our own mind and respect the Dharma and try to protect the Buddha Dharma, protect the proper Dharma. So anyone who has any question about the practice, please bring it up. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. We invite Kim Ying to speak. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear all monks or nuns and the rest of the assembly, dear Master, I have a question about the habits. You just mentioned about the habits, the ignorance. Sometimes we see the things very clearly and we know that it's wrong, that is not right. But and then we keep the practice going. But why the habit? We cannot, we don't recognize. And if we don't recognize it, then more likely we go on the wrong path, wrong way. Is it because the practice is not strong enough? And is it because the belief in the mind is not clear? So can you explain this a little bit further for us to understand? This has to do with the self-attachment, the habits of ignorance, being ignorance. This has to do with it, and it's keep distracting, and it's obstruct us from the practice. So because the belief in our own mind is still weak, it's not strong enough. So even if we know that that we believe in our own mind is not strong, is still weak, and we should rely on the Triple. So we need to keep the practice going, so that we can counteract, go against the affliction. So don't. So if we don't keep the practice going constantly, then there will be a lot of gaps coming in, and then false thoughts, affliction, self-attachment keep coming in, and this will invade, and then it cover up the belief in our own mind, and then we not be able to overcome all these obstacles. We don't try to subdue all this, but because we still practicing, so this is has to do with that we still try to correct our mistake or wrong thinking. So the Buddha has taught us just to rely on the Triple Truth, so that the Triple Truth will be the protection. We have the protection by relying on the Triple Truths. So just like the going to see the doctor, we need to rely on the treatment. So we need to take the treatment. So when we're talking about the triple jewels protection, we're not saying that they have any kind of protection. It has to do with our mind. This has to do with we're relying on the triple jewels. We rely on the monastery. We rely on the precepts, on the rules and regulation. We rely on good no advisors so that they can remind us. So if we even if we live close to the good advisors, but we don't listen to them, we don't follow their instruction, this is like going against it. So if we don't practice according to the principle, or we don't follow the rules, the other people will look at us and it's bad for them also. So we need to have the interaction. So we need to help each other. So for us, everything else is the external power. We ourselves have to have the internal power. So it has to do with us. We should believe in our own mind. If we do this, we have a strong belief in our own mind, then we'll be successful. So if we pursuing our belongings, so if we leave anything outside from our mind, then that is considered to be a deviant view. So the Buddha has taught us in the precepts, like Sayi, the novice monk. The first precept of the novice monk is not to kill. So because of the novice monk, when they were still young, they may have the habit of killing. They're more like insect killing cockroach. So if they keep this habit going, then when they grow up, then they're more likely to kill human beings, and then they more likely kill the sages, and even they even kill the enlightened ones. So that's why the Buddha has taught the young ones. The Buddha always try to encourage these people to uphold the precepts. This is just an example. This is an expedient means. So if we have a mind to direct ourselves to the enlightenment state, and we have to always give rise to thought about good deeds, not bad deeds. Wholesome. We have to have the wholesome thoughts. So in the Buddha Dharma, belief, have the faith is hard. The second difficulty is about remembering the practice. So if we have this belief in we have faith, strong faith, believe in our own mind, believe in the practice, then the thought of attachment, the thought of self-attachment will not come in. So as a cultivators, together we practice and we try to protect the Buddha Dharma. So do you understand what I tried to explain? Yes, I do. Thank you. Dear Master, so after your explanation, long ago, you have shared that our mind, sometimes it gives rise to jealousy, give rise to dislike, like frustration. Why do we let the ignorance overcome? Let the ignorance be stronger than what we believe in our own mind. The belief that we believe in our own mind. So the teaching from the Buddha or good advisor or patriarchs, they keep reminding us, don't let the ignorance and self-attachment that they distract us, that they control us. But we need to keep the cause, the prajna seed, and that is the bodhi mind. And so the Buddha encouraged us to bring forth the bodhi mind. So when we bring forth the bodhi mind, we need to practice the bodhisattva, the bodhisattva's path, and that is being selfless. So when we bring forth the bodhi mind, we believe in the own mind, we bring forth the bodhi mind, and so that we can get to the state of enlightenment, then we will be able to see clearly about the ignorance that we have and the self-attachment that we have. So that when we keep practicing, we'll be able to get out of ignorance. So just like walking out of the mud. If we already got out of the mud, then why we keep coming back? If we don't stay out of it and keep going forward to the state of enlightenment, then we're more likely to go back to the mud, go back to the dirty waters. And this is just an example from the good no advisors or from the patriarchs. If the Buddha has taught us, we need to keep the inflow thought, not outflow. So if we have the thought of having subjective and objective, then these thoughts will obstruct us from the practice, and this will give us affliction. So we ourselves, we have to keep the practice going and pay attention to the until we get to the self nature. So example, just like when we boil the water, if we want the water to stop, then we just stop putting in wood, stop the burning, stop the fire. Then the water will stop. Because of our ignorance and habits, because we keep these habits, then we may think that this is right and this is the experience. And sometimes we making all kind of excuse for ourselves. So it's just like we keep the stone, but not trying to keep the gold or the jade. So we keep making mistakes. Another example, the Buddha has mentioned the story about the so there's another example about the market tiger. And the market tiger is very dangerous, but we don't believe in it. So even though we understand the 5 desires, we know that it's bad, but we keep pursuing them. Sometimes we know that there's a poison, there's suffering, affliction, but we keep coming at it. This is why the Buddha said that living beings are ignorance. So we need to rely on the triple jewels. Don't need to cherish the Buddha Dharma and respect the Dharma, try to protect the Buddha Dharma. But so an example, we need to be careful. It's like keeping the fire going. We invite Phapte to speak. Namo Sakamuni Buddha, dear master, all masters, all nuns, and all practitioners. So please explain it to me. And one of the practitioners told me, how come the Lapong people have a lot of precepts? How can they maintain? They can keep all these precepts. So I reply, if we cherish the Buddha Dharma, then we'll be able to keep it, to uphold. So when I share about this, I remember one time, Sư Cô Pháp Thị, she said, one time, Memorial Day at the Master Whaley, she asked the Master, why didn't you invite Master from the temple, Phật Độ temple? It's not just make a phone call to invite him. if we want to invite him, we need to go there. We need to respect him to go there and put on our sash and go there and pay respect and bow to him, and invite him, not just by a phone call. When we're talking about respect the Buddha Dharma, can you explain a little bit further about this so that we can have an understanding about respect the Dharma, and we practice the right Dharma? All this has to do with the experience, skillful means. So this master, they really, he doesn't want this kind of appearance about this form. But we have to have the mind to respect all the elders, all the so even a person who act not according to the Buddha Dharma, we still to respect them. It's just like one of the Bodhisattva in the Lotus Sutra. They scold him, yell at him, but he still bows to them and respect them. So when we rely on the Buddha's regulation or the precept, then we need to respect all living beings, everyone. So when we practice this way, we get to the we call to the point that we call meditation precepts. Then we'll be able to uphold all the precepts. So an example, one of the master came to the precept recitation, and he didn't act accordingly to the ceremony. He went there. Actually, he came to the precepts transmission, but he didn't act accordingly. But because he so what he tried to say, a person already got enlightened, they actually don't follow the appearance of the form, but they actually already uphold. They uphold. They don't do anything wrong. And when they get to this state, they have. It's called the precepts of the sages. So the sages, the person who got enlightened, it's like they already got out of the dream. They are waking. So then everything they do, they don't violate the precepts. But for us ourselves, we give rise to a lot of thoughts that is violating to the precepts, to rules and regulation. So that's why we need to uphold the precept. The precept is just like the draft. We try to uphold to cross, use them to cross the river. So that's what the Buddha said. The precept is the lifespan of the Buddha Dharma. Like the ordinary being, they can, the lay person, they can keep the 5 precepts, uphold 5 precepts. So the bodhisattva precept, when they try to, anybody who try to uphold this bodhisattva precept, they try to practice the 6 paramitas. So the bodhisattva precept, it has the precept has to do with the mind ground, the mind ground precepts. So any thoughts that that's in our mind, we give rise to any thoughts. We have to be careful. So if we practice correctly, then we'll be able to see this thing clearly, and the intention of the Buddha and patriarchs. So the time is up. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha.